I'm standing here with Kamo, and Kamo, could you maybe tell me what project you were working on?
So yeah, this is an independent film which I've written, acted and directed. It's called The Investigator. It's based on a true crime drama in India, based on casteism and crime. So yeah, that's the film which has been doing now festival rounds and being very honored to be part of Septimius here, being nominated for Best Asian Actor for the same film.
Nice. And what was your inspiration for making this film?
So back in India, we lack suspense thriller genre, and this during the COVID time, I was trying to make something which was dark humor, but because of COVID, we could not shoot anything for 2 years. But then I had this a real life incident, a drama, which was there in my closet, and I decided to narrate it to my mother first, because she's a fantastic audience. And when I told her about the drama, then she loved it. So I started writing. I thought that this is the best audience to cater to.
Yeah.
So I did it within 3 months. I wrote the film. Then another 2 months we did the Reiki, and then we finished the film in 35 days of shoot. So yeah, the inspiration was, of course, my mother, but also we don't see in the rural villages where crime is being happening against females because they are lower caste.
Yeah.
Casteism is a big issue in our country, but the crimes are much more worst. So yeah, I used suspense thriller as a genre to tell this serious topic. And I think I've achieved well. That's why I'm standing here giving an interview to you.
Nice. I really, really love the inspiration and how you're telling how you arrived to this film. And I'm just curious. Also, did you then talk a lot with a lot of maybe police officers or like cases to get your story straight, to get more in depth?
Yeah, I was in talks with the commissioner of police of that particular city where the crime happened. And he was a bit skeptical to share the details with me. But then we had to sign some no objection certificate to them. And then they gave us a proper detail about the study. But it was very gruesome, the crimes and the reality. But yeah, I think audience needs to know that side of the world as well. So yeah, research is important. Today, that is what we lack in good films. It's more of superficial acting, but there's nothing well-lived character. All those things comes from research. So that's what we have tried our best to do with this film.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Also, really important to back up your story and to make sure you know what you're talking about. And are these topics or these subjects something you're always interested in to make films about, or is there like maybe other genres you also want to or inspire you? Or
so basically, I'm a theatre actor, and so before that, I was a civil servant aspirant because my entire family was civil aspirants, so they wanted me to also become a civil aspirant. So it was difficult to crack that part of the life. I told them that I'm an artist. So they told that you are on your own, we'll not support you guys. So started doing a lot of theatre workshops, started writing, started improvising. And then I discovered that I'm much more better in dark humor because serious things can be well told in dark humor tone without hurting anyone's sentiments. So yeah, dark humor genre is the next genre which I'm working on, and so I could talk about the next film. It's called,
maybe short, yeah.
It's called Mastan, and Mastan means lunatic lover. So how this guy in India in a village who is a bricklayer is trying to make a Taj Mahal for his beloved wife who just passed away. And so his struggle to make Taj Mahal with no money because Taj Mahal is supposed to be a very expensive monument in India. So he's trying to do his best, but he has to see the worst side of the life as well. So yeah, that's the journey which I'm writing and excited to do. So yeah, that's a very different genre than what I have made. My first is my second.
Really nice. I really love also you talk with a lot of passion about it, and I'm really excited to see it. Then I want to close off this interview with you, and thank you so much for your time. And yeah, have a great evening.
Same to you. Same to you. Thank you. Take care.
I'm standing here with Daria. Daria, very nice to meet you. First of all, you look amazing. I really love the dress. And this is your second year now at the Septimius Awards, right? Could you maybe tell something about how you experienced last year and how you're enjoying the night?
Yes, it's amazing event in the Netherlands. Previous year, I was so inspired because in the Netherlands you don't have a lot of events in such international vibe. And this year I thought, when I got invitation, I definitely have to come here to make new connections and to be happy for other people who were nominated this year. And it's like the day of celebration of the cinema. So we are going to join it. Yeah.
Nice. And could you maybe also tell a little bit more about you as an actress? What are, for example, some genres you really love? Or, maybe tell something about that.
Yeah, as actress, I prefer drama movies, and I love historical genre as well. And I'm producing films as well, so I'm now searching for different combinations of genres as well, because nowadays we have to surprise, entertain the audience, and it's always a big, long research on your way, and if you're very long in this profession, sometimes you need to try and taste new things.
And for how many years are you now in the Netherlands? Because I think you came from abroad, right? And were you when you first not in the Netherlands? What's your background?
Yeah, I had to start everything from the scratch 6 years ago when I moved to the Netherlands. I'm arrived from Moscow, where I was studying and working in theater for 10 years. Musicals like Mamma Mia, stage entertainment, and other very, very huge productions. And when I moved to the Netherlands, I started to think what I would like to change in my life, what I want to focus on. And that's why I started to focus more on film industry. I started to learn Dutch language as well, and to develop my skills and to meet new people and to travel to world film festivals such as Cannes Film Festival. I got interesting experience this year in Cannes, by the way. I was acting in nominated film in Cannes Film Festival, so for me it's really like special year, kind of thing.
Nice. And what's something we can expect maybe from you in the upcoming months you can maybe tell something about?
Yeah, I'm now developing a project with a lead part, and I can't tell a lot about this project yet because financing, all these things, you have to manage all them and then to shout out what you are going to do. Yeah, but I really had very nice premiere in Cannes Film Festival, so it's now the time for the new great opportunity. So I'm ready for it. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. Then I want to close off the interview with that, and really thank you for being here and thank you for your time, and enjoy the evening.
Yeah, thank you for interesting questions. Good luck.
I'm standing here with Irina, fashion designer. And Irina, could you maybe tell something or maybe even about your own dress right now, but also about what are some projects you've been working on?
Hello, my name is Irina Krutasova. I'm fashion designer and I work with evening gala and red carpet dresses, and this place very inspiring place for me. And I'm my first time here, so I really enjoy it.
And how are there any dresses or outfits you've seen maybe this evening that inspire you, or like, this is really cool? Have you seen already someone? Because I know there are people who can win, like best dress or best male. So is there anyone you already seen maybe who's?
Yes, I have a few dresses which really inspired me, but they just start. I think we will see a lot of them.
And I think, really dresses, but also outfits are really important also for making films and making movies. And could you maybe tell something about how do you get to work? So, for example, when you hear something about where the film's gonna be about, how do you start with your first ideas and how do you draw them to full costumes and?
I take a lot of inspiration from historical fashion, and I started working with ball gowns. That's first, and this is always first step. When I start working with dresses, with costumes, I make a search with historical pictures, historical movies, and modern movies also, and combine all of them and try to find something new.
That's really nice because it's always also every time you have to renew and make new things and and I'm also curious. I'm not sure if it's really relevant, but how do you feel like AI taking over like internet, industrial world? Do you feel like it's also in your field? Do you work with it, or is it? How do you feel about that?
I also work with it, and I think this is also part of our future, because this like an evolution for fashion, for art, for everything, and we grow with it. And also we don't need to forget our history and combine this with future AI.
All right, nice. Then I want to close the interview with that, and thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the evening.
Thank you so much. Have a nice evening. Bye.
I'm standing here with Freya for Best Actress of Oceania. Freya, could you maybe tell a little bit about the film?
Yeah, I star in Time Addicts, which is an Aussie horror comedy. It's about two meth addicts who smoke meth and they travel in time. You know, just another day in the life of a meth addict.
All right. And how do you prepare for a role like this?
It was crazy. I actually only had 2 weeks to prepare for the role. So I read the script a bunch of times. I read books. I was watching YouTube videos with, past meth addicts. But it was tough. It was very much a challenge for me.
Nice. And also, how many days took it to film the entire film? Because I think 2 weeks before your role is pretty short.
I think it took maybe 24 days. So it was tight, but it was all filmed in one location with 3 actors as the leads. So it was ambitious, but we were able to do it.
So there must be like a really small team you filmed with, right?
Yeah, it was a small team. It was my first Australian project. I lived in America for a bit, and coming back to Australia to do a movie was really refreshing because it was working with my own kind, and it was like summer camp. It was very intimate and we became very close.
I really like that. And you did some other things also in Australia before?
When I was much younger, I did some movies and TV series, but then I moved over to LA for a bit, and I worked mostly on American projects.
All right. And what do you like more than maybe?
I love movies. Movies have a place in my heart because I love that finite period of time that you're working on something and being able to transform into different identities for that period of time and then letting the character go. I love that.
And also, which do you love, Australia more with film or America? Bit hard, maybe.
I don't want to say. I don't have an answer for that because, it's different because in America, the Australian film industry is still very fresh, but it is working with fellow Australians, so it's culturally more like home to me. But I also love working in America. I'll work anywhere, to be honest.
It's just different elements in every film scene, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And is there anything you're working on right now? Any project, anything exciting coming up you maybe can tell a little bit about?
Yeah, so I'm writing my own scripts at the moment, and I want to get more into directing so that I have more creative control. Because as an actress, you're always waiting for an opportunity, and I don't want to wait anymore. So I've decided to get into writing.
All right, really cool. Then I want to close off with that. And thank you so much for your time and enjoy your evening.
Thank you for your time.
I'm standing here with Weslisa for the Best Documentary nominee. Weslisa, could you maybe tell something about your documentary and how do you arrive at the subject?
Our documentary is about the siege of Ukrainian city Mariupol, but it's not only about Mariupol, it's also about other Ukrainian cities that were destroyed and occupied by Russians. And for me, it's so important to be here today and stand here because war is going on right now and just came from the war zone, and it's a little bit difficult to understand how it could be possible in one time. But the most important thing that with our documentary we can give this voice to the people and give eyes to people all around the world to understand what's going on, and to not the world forget about these stories of people who were killed and of people who were left the city because it was occupied. And now a lot of Mariupol families have their new home here in Netherlands, and this is so important to have this support for them. But still, I think we need to tell about this more, and that's why we're still working, because we're journalists, we are reporting from Ukraine every day. But our film is helping to tell these important stories and to not the world forgot about this.
Do you feel like maybe now also in the beginning there's always a lot of media and attention to the war and everything that's going on? Do you feel like the world is still looking out for Ukraine, or do you feel like people have their eyes on other wars, or and that maybe your film could maybe help to give an in-depth look on how people experience this?
I think that our film is helping people to feel it more, to understand it more, because when you live in a peaceful place, you have no time to think about this. But this is so important to think about, like the humans, and we need to support each other, and we need to be united around these things, because war is now really topic in this. I think all world is involved in this, and I really don't want it to happen to other countries or to other people, because war is the most terrible thing I saw in my life. So that's why I think, yes, of course, film is helping to tell more and to feel more in this time.
And I'm also curious because it's quite quite heavy and quite maybe difficult to also ask people questions and maybe get them to open up about the topic, because people maybe like to stay in their own shell, maybe not talk about it. So how did you go about it?
I think we as people, we as the humans, we have our feelings, and this is what united us. And that's why when we're working on our stories, when we worked on our film, I think I gave all my heart and my soul to this, to let people understand it, at least for 1 second. Because, for example, if you're like mother and you have children, you will understand what it means when you are losing your children or you're losing your loved ones. So that's why it's important that we all can feel it, and I think this is what united and makes the attention, it keeps this attention for this war.
Yeah, true. I think at the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all human, and it's important to talk about this and to really share what's going on. Actually, is this for you also as a documentary or filmmaker, like a topic you're mainly focusing on, or are there any? Yeah, what are the upcoming projects maybe after this, or
when we worked on our documentary, at first it was my first documentary. It's the first documentary in my life, because in normal life I'm just a reporter, I'm a journalist working now in Ukraine covering the war, and for us it was the most important thing to tell this voice to people and to scream to the whole world what's going on. And when we were able to escape from Mariupol through 15 Russian checkpoints, hiding all our footage, we were able to take out more than 30 hours of video. And then we decided to do this documentary, to made it in history and to save it, because we were so scared that people will just forget about this. And now I'm still working as a reporter in the front lines, because for me it's so important to tell the stories to the world, because I still believe that we can change something, that we can stop it. And now my focus is in my reporting from the front lines. but in the same time I'm collecting all the stories, and I believe that in the future maybe we will be able to do film about this stories that we were not able to film but that exist, and this is the most important, I think.
Yeah, then I want to close the interview off with this, and let's have hope, because I think that's really beautiful what you tell, like never give up, always have hope and tell the stories about the people. So thank you so much for your time and enjoy the evening. I'm standing here with Mohammed Asif, and you have a YouTube channel, and could you maybe tell something about your YouTube channel and what it is about?
So actually it's about, we create what we are thinking, and everything that we create, it's all about related to all the people who are living middle class, upper class, lower class, and even also for luxury class people. We create content for them in a comic sketch. Yeah.
So what kind of comic sketch is it? What are some topics you, for example, discussed in your last episode?
Actually, we made daily life routine content, like we see beggar a lot everywhere. So how's beggar's life, and we see a shopkeeper every day. We go to the shop and we connectivity to the shopkeeper. So we create mostly based on the content which is related to real life, and so that's we created mostly from last 6 or 7 years.
All right.
Yeah.
So just real people from the real world. I think that's really nice, because everyone has their own little story, right? So that can also be very funny. And can you maybe tell for how long have you had this YouTube channel, and how did it develop over the years? Because now YouTube Shorts is also really upcoming, and TikTok. Like, do you also put stuff from YouTube on TikTok? How do you work?
Actually, TikTok is banned in our country from last 4 years. Yes, and before YouTube, we work on TikTok, and we have 6 million followers there when TikTok banned in India. But after that, we had nothing to do, but we don't stop our work. We start daily making videos, creative, different content on different topics. And now it's 5 years that we are working since on the content, different content. Actually, every day we create different. We don't copy anyone. We don't take content from any other creator. We just make the content what we think, and we think in a very unique way. So that's why we here, I think, from India. We are the only one who came here from India. So maybe something is very unique and different that Septimius like.
Yeah, that's really cool. And maybe, to close it off, could you maybe state the name of your YouTube channel and where we can follow it?
Sorry?
Could you maybe state the name of your YouTube channel to end off this interview?
Yeah. YouTube channel name is Avengers. Is it totally belong to India, from India, and request you to all of guys, please must go there and don't forget to subscribe.
All right, thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you so much.
Bye. I'm standing here with Jordan, and Jordan, could you maybe tell me what you're nominated for, and tell me about your film?
So I'm a film producer and director, and we have been nominated for our feature film Before Dawn in 3 different categories, including Best Film, so Best Makeup, and also Best Costume. And Before Dawn is based on true events of the Allies during World War I, and it's the largest movie to come out of Australia. It's very, very exciting to be the fact that this film has made it worldwide, but now to be here on the other side of the globe. It took like 16 hours to get here on a plane, but it's been fantastic. So I'm still a little bit jet lagged, but it's very exciting, and the adrenaline's pumping, and yeah, it's really exciting to be part of these awards.
It's really nice. And the film is really big, and I just wonder, because we also talked a lot about tonight about creating a team around you, and how would you describe the team that you're working with? Do you work with a big team, or is it a small team?
So I started producing and making films when I was in high school, so I'm still in my 20s, so it hasn't been that long. But for me, every film built a new team, or we had the team, and then I started bringing new people in bit by bit. And Spielberg said you're only as good as the people around you, and very true. And I'm very lucky with the team that I've got, that I have built this team that is, I can rely on them, I can trust them. And I remember being at the premiere, we had 1,500 plus people there, and the only reason why I was standing there was because of that cast and crew I got to work with. And yeah, you are only as good as the people around you, and I've been incredibly lucky to work with that team. And I got a call from Walt Disney Company saying, we want you to produce a film. I went, exciting. And then we got Netflix and Apple lined up as well, and they've all said, yeah, we want to do it. And I said, that's fine, but you're not investing in me, you're investing in the team behind me. So if you want me, you got to bring everyone with me. So, and I've been very lucky that I was able to negotiate that, and I've been able to bring in all the people that have supported me right from my high school days. So yeah, it's incredible that this team in Australia, it started off small, but now we've got more than 300 staff members, 300 cast and crew. And, and then if we're talking about the cast, for instance, we had 300 extras in our last film alone. So that it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And to be able to make films of this scale and to say that we're actually independent and we haven't got that government funding, it's truly incredible. It really goes to show that if you've got that drive and if you've got that passion, you can make anything possible with the people around you.
I really love that. I really think also the philosophy, like you're as good as the people around you, and it's really important to also have the drive. We also talked about today that also with Step and Graham, and I'm also curious because it's such like a really good team, and I love it that you told me that you work with them for also many years with some of them. What are some of the challenges maybe you faced with making the film? You could tell me more about.
So for me, I think I was quite lucky because I was very young when I started making films, so I was quite ignorant. People go, oh, that's not possible. And I was going, yeah, it's fine, it's possible. And then you started making a lot of mistakes and you'd learn from the mistakes. But what was really good is that the mistakes I was making, they were only costing $50 or whatever, but I would learn from that mistake, so that when I was doing something like Before Dawn, a mistake on that could cost $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. So you can't make that mistakes, but you've learnt from that. So it was quite challenging making a film of this scale, and the way that we did it was a lot of sponsors and in-kind support. So it was very much a business structure that I adapted back when I was in high school, of getting those sponsors and in-kind support and showing that, hey, if you don't have the usual way of getting funding, you can still go out and make your film. It's just a different way and a different outside of the box thinking. And long story short, now other filmmakers across Australia, and now we're actually seeing it, that are also connecting with us saying, oh, we love how you did this business structure. We like how you did that because we can't get the usual funding from the government bodies or the usual people that are the gateholders. And we're looking at copying your structure, adapting the same structure. So we've almost pathed a way for a different way of filmmaking through the independent world, and it's incredibly exciting to see. But it does have its challenges. It means that if a generator goes down or something goes down, you then need to adapt. You can't just go, oh well, we got $1 million, let's just pay for a new one. And they actually made a documentary in the trenches on my last film and also what we're doing. So they've done a doco which will be coming out on Netflix, I believe, soon, and that just shows you so many challenges that we went through. We filmed in the coldest and wettest winter on record in Australia, and those that know Australians, like, we're accustomed to 30 degrees, but then all of a sudden it will just rain and rain and rain and rain, and we had the perfect filming conditions for the Western Front in World War I, but it was a very, very hard shoot, and I never want to see mud. I never want to, mud, sandbags, never want to see it again. But it also was a testament to what those actual men and women went through and the sacrifices that they endured, and because of them we get to live in such a lucky world that we live in today.
True, and it also really adds to the film, as like what you said. And are there maybe some steps you would maybe like to share with young independent filmmakers if they have this great idea but they don't know, like, what are some of the first steps or tips you want to give them?
So for me, it's you've got to have, everyone talks about the talent and the passion, etc., but you've got to also have the drive. So you just got to keep making stuff. So even when COVID hit, we had to postpone. I was still making little short films in between, because otherwise you then get back on set and you're now working with a multi-million-dollar budget, but you haven't done anything for the last year or two, and that can take its toll as a creative. So it's always just going out there making stuff, networking, but for me, it was actually having that drive to just keep pushing and going, okay, this is hard, but keep pushing. And if you've got that drive and you've got that, I guess, that sense to go, no, I really believe in this, the team around you will feel the same way, and then they're going to push even more. So, it's a bit of everything. It's a bit of networking to build your team, but it's also making sure you believe in that project more than anyone else. And because of that, everyone else will believe in it just as much as you.
Yeah, true. If you don't believe in it, no one else will believe in it. So, I want to close off the interview with that, and I want to thank you for your time, and enjoy your evening.
Wonderful. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.